Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to Beyond Your Radio. I'm your host, Mark Kuligowski. And guess what? Yes, it's time for another Panelists Favorite show. Yes, this one was a little bit delayed, but we're back. We get to part 2 of 2 for the drummers. And I'm glad you could join us. Pull up your drum throne or your drum stool. Just no stool samples, please. We're going to let the panelists tonight close out their favorite
drummers. Gonna add a rim
drummers.
shot for that and the drummer.
Yes. But this is what they like, right? This isn't the best drummers of all time, maybe, you know. Some of them do fall into that category, there's no question. But these are those that they'll follow down a rabbit hole. They'll buy their own solo albums. Those are some drummers that you follow, right? Some of these guys are the studio musicians. Some of them might be, you know, with their band, and that's where it stayed, and that it's just a sound that will never ever be replaceable. I also wanted to do this because they got the Grateful Dude on as a drummer, and he's going to do double duty tonight because he didn't do his first 5, so he's doubling down.
Ooh.
So he was going to give me his 5, but I said, you know what? When it gets to your turn, you can do your 5 and your 5.
Well, I didn't know there was 10 drummers in the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, so that's what I want. Who are the panelists tonight that are going to fill us in on their picks? He beats to a different drummer, Jeff Young. When she orders sushi, she goes for the drum roll. Susie Q. No. Oh, she pairs her glockenspiel with a bratwurst and a kartoffel and a nice Hefeweizen. Damn, Deb Armitage Hicks Maloney.
Oh, hello.
Yes. He's paradiddled. He's paradiddled. And he almost got arrested for it. Story for another show. Grateful Dude.
I
will say it, when it comes to wings, I'm more of a drum guy.
Yes. Yes. Me too. The wings.
I am too.
Messy. It's messy.
Messy. Yeah.
He still has his first xylophone from play school. Steven Scouten. Yes? No?
Yes. Who's the best xylophonist?
Oh, that's a toughie.
It's one of my honorable mentions, actually. So save that for later.
Oh, cool, wow. Cool, good. I'm glad somebody went there. Been hearing a lot of that lately. It's making a comeback. And the little drummer boy couldn't join us tonight, Alex Kolizny. All right.
It's okay. He's always wrong anyway.
Yeah. I'm glad we can finally do the second part because I felt really important to me because my number one drummer would not be a mention by anybody probably. And I believe that's a sad state of affairs. But we'll get there. All right?
Must be jazz.
What? Could be. Could be a lot of things. All right, so I'm going to kick it off with the Grateful Dude. So he gets to do his number 5, and then he gets to go, and my other number 5.
Okay.
And then his other brother, Daryl.
Okay, now drummers, especially rock and jazz drummers, hold a very special place in my heart. My dad was a drummer. He did part-time duty with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra.
Oh,
nice.
So drumming to me is very, very important. And you'll see with my list, I have a lot of old drummers in there, but they can probably stand a lick by anybody. But here you go. My number 5, one of the best rock drummers of all time, and I would be surprised if he wasn't mentioned before, John Bonham.
Yep. For sure.
And then one with a little that I've seen live 3 or 4 times. He played with the Police and Stuart Armstrong Copeland.
Yep.
Good one.
Yep.
Yep.
Those are. It's not just standard, right? They're. Although I will say, he did his the reimagination of what was it? I don't remember. What was it for Copeland? And he had the female singers doing the Police songs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to slam my head into something very hard and just make it stop. I couldn't. So, but then again, Sting did a bad album too. So anyway,
Yeah.
songs from the Lute. Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Sue.
I'm glad that Jeff is going back in time because I really wanted to talk about some classic drummers and jazz and all that, and I just didn't get a chance to really dig in that much. So, my number 5, I went with Travis Barker. Yeah, I was trying to think of some more recent.
Didn't he host The Price is Right?
No,
Oh.
no relation, I don't think, but one never
never
knows. But he is kind of versatile. He's played with a lot of different people. I think even Avril Lavigne, I
Yes.
believe, Pharrell Williams, Machine Gun Kelly. So I think he's just one of those people that he's good at what he does, and maybe he's not a standout, but a little bit taken for granted. But he always comes through, and he sounds great. So
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Travis Barker.
Deb, number
Oh, me?
5.
Okay. So, like I said, I went with what I felt were influential drummers, maybe not my favorite because I really have only one favorite. So that would be a really boring show if I said it 5 times. But I was in jazz band, I was in swing band, I was in orchestra. One of my favorite shows of all time. Now, it's not who I'm going to pick, but he was influenced by this man. One of my favorite shows of all time was I Love Lucy. So, Desi Arnaz and, this big band swing thing. But I'm going with my number 5 as Gene Krupa.
Nice.
First superstar drummer for sure. And he popularized the drum solo. So where would we be without Gene? We would have a really boring live concert without Gene Krupa. So he's my number 5.
Cool. Mr. Young.
I watched the show, Jeff, and I was laughing when you picked the guy from Def Leppard because I knew that it would drive Mark crazy.
I mean,
Good job.
some of us can do some things with one arm, and others have to do two with. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Very good.
Pretty
Sorry.
So I'm going to stick along with Jeffrey and stay with some Stuart Copeland. Not many Police albums, but very memorable. I mean, just think of like Roxanne, Message in a Bottle, Walking on the Moon, or Every Breath You Take, everything. It's kind of like, when a lot of people associate the Police as a blend of rock, reggae, and jazz, and I think that comes from the drums. And I just also King of Pain too. When you think about King of Pain, it's like it's almost like in that particular song, and there's probably others like this too. I can't think of what they would be, but it's almost like Stewart adds by subtracting because he takes away the bass, and it just sounds so great. Like especially in King of Pain, and he also I think he was on Red Rain from Peter Gabriel, but just a lot of memorable tunes, which is probably true of every one of these drummers that we're going to talk about. But yeah, that's who I have Stuart Copeland there.
Love him.
Okay. All right, Steve, do you
Oh,
remember?
also, if anyone cares, he is a left-handed drummer with a right-handed kit.
Right.
Oh,
I did not know that.
interesting.
Cool little tidbit.
Steve.
So I kind of did the same thing. So I'm kind of like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
So my number 10, her influences range from Dylan to the Velvet Underground, from Sun House to the Cramps, from Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan. Before she was a drummer, she was a chef, and she worked at a place called Memphis Smoke in Royal Oak, Michigan, where she met Jack Gillis in the middle 90s. And Jack Gillis and her got married, and he took her name, and her name is Meg White of the White Stripes.
Oh,
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah, Meg believe it or not, in researching her, she's considers herself retired from drumming. My remaining ones are pretty much dead, but Meg White's alive. She's doing some acting, but if you go through the library of White Stripes songs, a 2-person band. I mean, Jack rips it up on the guitar, but Meg, I mean, you can't watch a professional sporting event without hearing Seven Nation Army.
Yeah,
You're
right.
You seriously can't. So I'm
Great.
a big fan of their music. I'm sorry I didn't see them as a band. I've seen Jack, but not her. I've seen Jack a couple times, but Meg White, solid number 10 for me.
Yeah. Smaller kit too.
Smaller kit, correct?
And then you got like Ball and a Biscuit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, real strong. Hotel Yorba. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of songs where, Jack kind of backs off and lets her rip it a little bit. So, big fan of Meg White.
So I will start off with jazz, although this gentleman, totally influential, modern. He's played with James Brown, Stanley Clarke, Miles Davis, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, even the Passion of the Christ with Peter Gabriel, not to mention his solo albums, which I'm sad because I have a box set and I was going to show that off, and that's got his albums Total Eclipse, Crosswinds, Shabazz, A Funky Thide of Sings, as well as Spectrum. And of course, he's played with Sonny Rollins, John McLaughlin, and Quincy Jones, and even John Anderson of Yes. This is Billy Cobham. Billy is one of the most influential drummers of all time, but he's got solo records, that showcase the drums, but they're in the lead. Sometimes they're not, just the different sounds. You had funk, you had jazz, you had fusion, great stuff. So that's my next one. Back to the Grateful Dude to double down.
Okay.
Oh, wait, 1 second. The other boys sent theirs in. Number 5, Zigaboo Modeliste from the Meters.
Whose is that, Jeff?
That's Jeff Crichton.
Okay.
All right, Keith Moon. All right. Ray's got Keith Moon. Back to you, Grateful Dude. I apologize for the interruption.
It's okay.
Seems to be that kind of show.
Oh, wait! No, okay, just kidding.
Since you're talking about the last two, my number 4s are both been mentioned lately. First, I'll start off with one of the best drummers I've ever seen in live ever, Keith Moon.
Yeah,
the guy was just incredible, and he was sorely missed. That's for sure. And my next one, my dad played with him, and he was mentioned by Deb already, Gene Krupa. He was my idol for years and years, and I learned to play by watching tapes of him. And my dad played with him a couple of times.
That's amazing.
So back in the day when you watched them play, could you pause or did you just?
Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, it was a reel. So
okay, all right.
But I usually watched like 10 minutes, and then I would practice 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So
I'm not dating you or anything by saying that. Just
yeah. I'm freaking old.
I mean, there's only 2 people here that probably know what reel to reel is. I'm one of them, and so
I read about it in class.
Yeah, history class.
Where's the AV crew when we need them?
Yes.
Hey, I used to be an AV monitor.
Oh, I was a hall monitor once.
I'm not surprised.
Sue.
I used to love when they'd give you the erasers from the chalkboard and you got to clean them off.
Yeah.
That was like an honor to do that. Okay. Anyway, so I know I'm copying Jeff, but I, again, was trying to go with people that I really enjoy. And this person actually, everyone's always talking about concerts they've seen, and I have seen him in concert. So I'm going with Alex Van Halen because he's really good and fun,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed him. And I don't have much more to say. And I can't remember, Jeff. I know you talked about some different things about him, but did you mention that he's an ordained minister?
I did not mention that.
And he married
I was trying to keep that on the
brother
down
in
low, but okay.
2009. And did you mention that he has only shown up on one record away from his brother,
Yeah.
which was the Twister soundtrack, Respect the Wind, but he did not play drums, he played keyboard. So-
Really?
Yep.
That's a cool tidbit.
And I believe he and Eddie wrote the song.
Yep.
Love that.
And probably another reason why I love that movie. So anyway, that's it.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, he's been mentioned a lot, but there's a reason why he's been mentioned a lot. This guy used his drum as a lead instrument, and he had energy and chaos, but it all worked. And he died too soon. And of course, it's Keith Moon, The Who. We just did the Who catalog. He's definitely the biggest reason I like that band. So
That's good.
Yeah.
yeah, good old Keith. You can't
Thought about-
have
thought
this
about
list
him.
without Keith, you know?
Yeah.
No, some people are still watching that show. Jeff.
I'm gonna stroll on over to Danny Carey of Tool.
Oh, cheers.
In some ways, I kind of, now that Neil Peart's gone, I kind of feel like, oh, well, maybe Danny Carey can pick up where he left off, because they both were very, technical and had complicated arrangements, and they constantly each, especially with Danny Carey, I feel like each album that comes out with, even though it might take 10 years at a time, he always surprises you with something that's unexpected. Just a very creative drummer and arranger. So yeah, that's who I got. And especially when you think like some of the songs like The Grudge, Rosetta Stone, Numa, Lateralis, Fear Inoculum. Those are some of the ones that stand out to me. And yeah, I don't know, just maybe, like I said, maybe he's picking up where Neil left off.
Certainly very technical, and it's
Hmm.
him when he plays it. Steve, what you got next?
So my number 9 is a 1995 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee with his band, of which he's the last surviving member of. Got his start playing blues music, Memphis blues, in Muscle Shoals and Memphis. Played with Otis Redding, played with Sam and Dave in the early to mid 60s. Part of a 3-drummer, group, trio, I guess, with Butch Trucks and Mark Quiones. Still has a band, J-Mo's Jazz Band. It's J-Mo Johnson from the Allman Brothers Band.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Still plays, still's around, still's active, but last man standing. So
There's something to be said for that. Huh?
There's
Yep.
always somebody.
The rest of the drummers seem to
yeah,
perish inexplicably.
yeah.
All right. This guy played everything: jazz, rock, blues, Cream, Blind Faith. Yes, the angry drummer, redhead. What else could he? What else could he be besides angry? He was flaring. I have some stuff he's done with guitarists, bass players, and stuff, and lost sessions that are coming still at this point. It's still amazing. Ginger Baker, still follow actively. I mean, he's been gone for a while, but I'm always interested in stuff that's come out. They call them live sessions, and I'm sure there's a lot of people understand when we call these live sessions. They're recorded, a whole band's together, but there's no audience. They're just in the studio live and doing it, and it's usually one take. and he did that with Jonas Elborg, which actually Jonas himself sent to me, which was kind of one of those wonderful things of Beyond Your Radio that's happened over the time, and Jonas wasn't very happy with me one time because it was supposed to be Jonas Elborg and Buckethead, and I put Buckethead and Jonas out. He was not
Uh-oh.
happy with me. No,
Oh
no, he said
boy.
I said that was a total mistake. I'm so sorry. I did. Yeah, it was just.
Mark never says he's sorry either.
And then
So
all of a sudden he sent me.
That's
All of a sudden he's sending me albums. So
awesome.
and it's fantastic. That was there was a
Nice.
break somewhere with Blind Faith or something, and I can't remember what the storyline was, but Ginger and him got together in this one location and they just played, and marvelous. And those are the kind of things that I strive for, look for, So
Well,
all right,
back in the day, really quick, I thought Ginger Baker was a character in Gilligan.
Yes.
No,
Isn't it?
all right. So
oh my God.
Mr.
I'm not kidding.
Crichton, his number 4 was Stuart Copeland. And Ray said, hey, Mitch Mitchell. How about Mitch Mitchell? So
Who's that?
From the Doors.
the Doors.
Good me. I'm not a Doors person. Sorry.
Uh-oh. We're going to have to change that.
I know all the other ones besides the drummer.
All right. Back to the Grateful Dude. Double down.
Double threes.
Okay, well, my first one is Bernard Rich. And you would know him by that his real name. Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
So one I'm talking about, Buddy and my dad played together for over 2 years together. And he was a fabulous drummer. And another one that was in my founding fathers edition.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
was phenomenal. And then last but not least, you just talked about him a minute ago. I'm coming in. It's like Mark steals my thunder again. Ginger Baker. And Ginger Baker was fabulous. I've seen him in Cream and in Blind Faith, and they were fabulous.
Sue.
Wow. I like Steve's background, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
Got the T-shirt too.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
look at you.
Nice.
He's moving up the ranks is the
I
most
tell you what, one of these days
Panelists.
his face will be painted. Got to support the team.
I don't know about that. I think that big tall guy who got me involved in this has a better chance of having his.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
All right, Sue.
So my number 3, because I actually switched Alex. I went with Chad Smith, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Another one that, his drumming makes a lot of those songs, I think, really stand out. And he makes them pop, the funky. I'm not huge into I do like funk, but it depends. But he does a really good job with it. And again, I feel like he's somebody that obviously he's noted and everything, but maybe not a standout. Although they did make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
somebody noticed what he was doing, but yeah.
They're
That's a good
outstanding
pick.
musicians.
Pick. It's a great pick.
Outstanding musicians. Really. And I don't know. The public's a silly place sometimes, right? You get Californication, right? Blah, 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 blah. The last 2 records they put on are like manifestos and jazz rock fusion, and they're geniuses. I don't, and those really show it. And those are the albums that people don't. Oh, it's too long. It's too this. I'm like, what?
Right.
I mean, Flea is playing that bass like he's wearing a suit and a tie, and respecting it rather than thrashing it all over the place. And yeah,
They've become more and more appreciated as the years have gone on.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well,
Really have.
Rick Rubin in his interview with Rick Beato.
They were just LA funky punky back in the day, but they now they're really well respected. All of them.
They're sort of like your pick for you too. This is the same thing,
Yeah, similar. Yeah, you're absolutely
right?
Yeah.
It started
Yeah.
in one alley and wound up out of the
Yeah.
alley, and do you want us to play with the orchestra? Do you want me to, what do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Rick Rubin, he said of all the people he's worked with, that musician wise, though, that band he loves playing, loves recording with them.
It's great.
Cool.
All right, damn.
Chad was on my honorable mention, but
Okay.
mostly because is it Chad or is it Will Ferrell? Is it Will Ferrell? Chad.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the
Look it up.
look it up. Yeah, it's on YouTube and it's pretty funny.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, Jimmy Fallon. I couldn't remember if it was Jimmy Fallon or if it was Stephen Colbert. I knew it was one of those late night ones, but it's classic. So all right, this is another drummer that actually is the reason why I enjoy the band outside of me not enjoying the band for other reasons, but he's been mentioned before. uh, Exceptionally technical skills, complex, like time signatures, and he's a progressive pioneer, and that would be Neil Peart from Rush.
Yeah.
And I think that, as I've been on this show and listening to some of the critiques of Rush and listening to Rush again, it really was only Geddy Lee's voice that was off-putting to me, and which is unfortunate because it's another band that I'm growing to appreciate as I get older and understand just how good they are. And I'm sorry, Geddy, that I judged the whole band on your very abrasive voice. But so my number three is Mr. Pert. Yeah.
Okay. Senior Young.
It's funny that you said Neil Peart after you were talking about Gilligan's Island, because he did have some circles a nickname of the professor, because a lot of people thought when he was younger.
Yes, the
looked like the
professor. Yes, he loves to read books. Look at it. This is a whole theme we got here.
But so I'm going with Neil Peart as well. He's got like timely placed rolling drums and different percussion elements on every album. And of course, he's also known to be somewhat legendary in the drum solo aspect of music. When you think of like Tom Sawyer, YYZ, Spirit Radio, like Subdivisions, 2112, like there's just so many memorable percussion elements to those songs that it's like most of these drummers that we're talking about, they all have their own sound. I mean, you could play a couple of their songs, you'd know who it is, right? And so yeah, just Neil Peart, just amazing. Got to see him a few times, and what else can you say? Just Neil Peart.
Neil Peart.
Got it. Where's Marianne?
D.
My turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So my number 8 is he's got a universal, people love this guy. Grew up in Arkansas, a child of electric and Delta blues. First band was the Hawks, which led him to Toronto, where, along with his drumming, he was an actor. He played Loretta Lynn's father in Coal Miner's Daughter.
Really?
And he played Chuck Yeager's friend in The Right Stuff. But when the Hawks kind of moved from the States up to Toronto, he met Robbie Robertson and Danko and Manuel and Hudson. And he was also a great vocalist in this band, as well as their drummer. And being a kid from Watkins Glen, I have the pleasure of having the liner notes of the band at Watkins Glen CD signed by Lee Van Helm.
That's cool. Very nice.
The Midnight Rambles that is at Woodstock, Lee Van Helm Studios in Woodstock now still hosts concerts. The best of the best have played at the Midnight Rambles. Lee Van's another guy whose legacy and his contribution to music and what he's done to bring folks together it's pretty legendary. So yeah, number 8, I went with Levon Helm.
Cool. Great pick.
Yeah.
His daughter's pretty exceptional.
Yes, she's Amy. Yep.
Not a drummer, but
yeah, she's another one keeping the legacy going. So
yeah, that's
absolutely.
all right. So Mr. Crichton has Al Jackson Jr. from Booker T and the MG, and Ray Geska has Ian Pace. That's how you say it, right? Pace.
I believe so.
Oddly named, Paice, I think.
Mhm.
Hey. All right. Phil Collins in the air tonight.
Yeah. I almost picked him.
Guy came up with his own drum sound out of like the middle of nowhere in the 80s. Well, actually late 70s. I don't know how. He's in this progressive rock band. And okay, so all you people out there living with depression, work it like Phil did. All right. Drink heavily, get to the drums and cry it out and write this stuff and hurt the drums. Don't hurt anybody else. And gate them. That way it doesn't sound too punishing because you don't want to go there. It's a signature that, okay, maybe went a little too far at a certain point. It almost at some point sounded like it was a drum machine instead.
Yeah.
Might have been like, hey, nobody beats up Prince about the auto tuning, and he's the creator of that.
Correct.
No one's shouldn't beat up Phil on this drum machine thing, but exceptional drummer, unique sounds to make the drum. When you write songs on the drum, that can't be as easy as the piano, I don't think, right? First of all, you can't write because the sticks are in your hand, and what are you gonna do? I don't know. It seems problematic to me, but anyway. I don't care anymore. The drums on that are even better, Phil, than in the air tonight.
Agreed.
Right?
That's a great song.
Yeah.
He's on my honorable mention too. If I had been on both shows, he would have made my list.
There you go. No problem.
Okay, sorry I missed it.
It's okay. You're gonna miss some. Even I miss them. Then I bring you back in.
Yeah, you do.
Grateful Dude, double twos.
Okay, well, number 2 here, he's played with Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, the Beach Boys, Simon and Garfunkel.
Can't keep a job, apparently.
Not very good.
Neil Diamond.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't play with Neil Young. What?
He may have, you don't know.
I don't know.
Neil Diamond and the Byrds. He is, to me, one of the people he was known as a studio drummer, and he got the nickname the Wrecking Crew because he wrecked everything. The guy was just phenomenal drummer, and Hal Blaine.
Yeah. Yep.
He was very, very wonderful.
Yeah, he was on the tops of Crichton's list last
Yeah.
week or
And
a
then-
couple weeks ago.
And then he was mentioned already, but I'll say it again.
Sure.
Al Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Fabulous drummer, fabulous. All these people on my list and your list too are some of the best.
Yeah,
drumming.
It's hard not to. You can have favorites, but and listen, the era that you grew up in, right?
Yeah.
All those guys were feeding off each other, and and what they were doing, Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because drumming, and I know this, even though there are written notes for it, most rock drummers and most drummers don't read music. Or mildly, anyway.
Improvisation.
Improvisation is the key.
Well,
Yeah.
jazz for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and
You gotta
the
feel it.
the best drummers are the best improvs.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like those shows that those people have never heard the song and they play
Yeah.
the song without the drums and they play it and some of them are just they do cool stuff. And I just remember like one of the jazz drummers and he's like they give him like Tool and he's like, and he hears he's like, no, this is the double drum, the double kick drum and he's like, you're killing me. He goes, I knew you'd do it to me, but hey, All right, so yep, okay.
Those were-
Sue,
yeah.
right?
It's me.
It's
Yeah.
just you. Sue.
So you went ahead and took my number 2. I was surprised he hadn't come up yet, Phil Collins. But I was trying to look for some cool fact about him that hadn't been talked about, but there's a lot of drama when you go to Google Phil Collins.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I was trying not to get sucked into
His
that.
ex-wife tried to sell his house behind his back with her. Oh
So
yeah,
my wife. Is that-
Miami,
was it
Florida.
me?
He had it. Why does a British guy have a house in Miami? You're
Why
gonna
not?
burn on that beach, man.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he obviously hanging out with you, I heard quite a bit of Phil Collins. I
No.
think for a while you kind of thought you were Phil Collins.
Phil
So
wannabe.
it's
Go
true.
for Halloween.
Philanthropy. I was a
It's true.
Philanthropy.
Phil wannabe.
It's a condition.
Wanna be. Yeah.
Yeah. There are instrumentals on those solo albums that never get mentioned, and they're ridiculous. And someone like, and even Genesis took, behind the lines. They did it twice. He did it on his album. They did it on theirs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think you have to say he's a master at his craft, I would
Yes.
say.
Oh,
And-
absolutely. Absolutely.
and just and then to be so talented, like as a songwriter and a singer too, singing for Disney, like singing for animated movies, like so much later in his career, like, so anyway.
Yeah, my kids always wanted to hear all the stories of, his Genesis days when he was, doing The Lion King.
Right.
It was
Like, what?
Brother Bear and Tarzan, right? Right?
Tarzan, I think yes, Tarzan
Yeah.
for sure.
Oscar winner, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if you're our age, In the Other Night is from Miami Vice. If you're Alex's age, In the Air Tonight is from The Hangover.
Yeah, it's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And then you got Phil Drummond, Clapton, Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Who.
Mm. I think we talked about that on the catalog
So.
show, didn't we? No?
What was this? No, who was it that they were trying to get Phil, and they didn't take him? They went with somebody
Oh.
else.
Oh, but is it somebody that
Yeah,
turned out
Jeff
great
Clyde was
anyway?
talking. It must have been the Who.
it
That was
was
the last
Who.
show we did. Yeah, it must have been the Who. Yeah.
I think
What
it
would
was.
that have been different? Because Genesis was on a hiatus, and it was like, I was in. Yeah. Anyway,
Way different.
Mr. Young.
No, it's my turn.
Oh
isn't it?
yeah. Gee, see, this is what
It
happened.
doesn't
when
matter
we-
because I'm just going to repeat what my whole list is just a repeat, except for my little Mr. Krupa at the beginning. But my number 2 was already mentioned by the dude. And this comes from, again, me being in jazz band and being in orchestra and learning to play an instrument, and my dad as well. He was a big jazz guy. Even though I like jazz, Mark, from our shows. I don't like the
You're working
way
on it.
out. I don't like the crazy jazz where there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's a little anxiety producing for me. But this guy, speed, precision, showmanship. And I didn't know his real first name until about a half hour ago, but it's Mr. Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich.
Oh.
Everybody's gotta love him.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
All right, Mr. Young.
For this one, I picked a drummer, and I am going with Bill Ward of Black Sabbath.
I had to be coming sooner or later.
Nice, especially from you. Yeah.
Has been coined in by some media as the godfather of heavy metal drumming. But honestly, if you just started the first album like everyone else did, from the very first note of the first debut album of Black Sabbath, self-titled song, that self-titled album, he leads the way like the whole way through the album. He's like the drum kit could have been in the front of the band. Like it's just so good, just so good. And you did that the whole career. I mean, think about like Iron Man, War Pigs, Children of the Grave, Wizard, Fairies Wear Boots. They're all just it's so prominent, and it really is. It's not just something to keep pace. It leads. It's awesome. And you know what's great about Bill Ward is, and I think Black Sabbath did this well with every member of the band, is they gave each other enough space to shine in almost every track they had.
Mm-hmm. Very
For
memorable
sure.
stuff.
For sure. Steve.
So my number 7, grew up more of a fan of jazz drumming than rock drumming. Grew up in San Diego, California. And I believe if 90s grunge had a garage band, he would be the drummer. 2 stints with Soundgarden, Temple of the Dog, a slight stint with Queens of the Stone Age. I was fortunate enough to, now I'm finding out, see his last performance as the drummer with Pearl Jam. Matt Cameron is my number 7.
Nice.
Yeah. So he was with Pearl Jam for 27 years. Really, and it was very interesting. The night I went to Pearl Jam's last show on the last tour, and it was also the 8-year anniversary of Chris Cornell's passing. And of course, Matt Cameron had a Chris Cornell T-shirt on, and they played Hunger Strike.
I thought they played something from that. Yeah.
Yep. And it was quite a night, and I feel pretty fortunate to see his last show.
Nice.
I never saw them. Many opportunities, we never went.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that was my first time. I had tickets during COVID, which, as everybody knows, COVID didn't really go well for concerts.
No.
Yeah.
So
you would have thought Corona concerts good, right?
Yeah, it's delicious.
I had Baltimore tickets, and then the show got moved to Philadelphia, and I didn't really want to go to Philadelphia, so I held out and waited, and ended up in Pittsburgh 2 months ago. And it was I've been a Pearl Jam fan since day one, so it was a much needed evening of excellence. So and to see Matt's last show was pretty special.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before, the only time I ever saw them was in Buffalo, and they played like 30 songs.
Yeah, they played.
Really?
They went deep. They went deep in Pittsburgh, and they stuck around for a while, and and Eddie can chat. And he was chatting that. Yeah. The wine was flowing, and a fun night.
That's cool.
Yeah, they put their shows, Bruce Springsteen, Foo Fighters. You're looking at 3 hours. You don't have a choice.
Yep, did that.
Yeah, and
take the day off.
What's great about like the longevity of the catalog, right? I don't understand. There are a lot of channels out there that bash that band and several others,
right?
And I still have never understood that idea. Here's a band for that many years, solid albums. They always sell. Their concerts sell out, and there's always 2 to 3 tracks that are just not the same as the prior albums.
And if you look at grunge, I mean, they stood the test. They stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
That band does. And Dave went out, and the Foo Fighters is an offshoot, but Pearl Jam's been there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're I don't know. I left college with them, and they've been in my back pocket since. So.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So Ray has Alex Van Halen.
Oh, cool.
Alan Jackson Jr. Oh no, they did the number two. Charlie Watt. Watt. Me, Neil Peart. There's not much more needs to be said. The bad part of that is it's just Rush. It's not a lot outside the Rush. I wish that there was a little something I'd like to hear him play in a different wheelhouse. But that's where it is usually for me. So that was. I mean, it's he deserves to be. He is. He's the professor, right?
The professor.
Mister Dude, your snake eyes.
Oh,
Hey guys, baby. Well, even though by popularity, they're not the best drummers in the world. Even though I've seen them well over 300 times, and there's only one person that could be, or one persons that could be Mickey Hart and William or Bill Grossman Jr. And they were the drummers for the Dead. Mickey Hart went on and he played with a few other bands. Grossman played with the new band, and he said, I guess they're still playing at the Sphere.
Yes.
But
Yeah, play in San Francisco later this year too.
yep.
wow.
Yeah,
But,
you can make a weekend of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll meet you in Frisco.
Meet you in Frisco. Tempting. It's tempting.
Sounds like a Dead song. Meet
Yeah.
me in
Yeah, meet me in Frisco.
But
We'll have turtle.
But they were, to say they were great is belittling it. If they were really a fabulous group, especially if you've seen them as many times as I have, and then they're like, this is like nailed into my brain.
You've seen them more than I saw any of my husbands.
You know, okay, so Mickey Hart, I'm going to assume, right? Because I've never seen him, but I have solo albums. He was the bigger drum kit than, are they about
They
the same?
had identical drum kits.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They had identical drum kits. Yeah, the difference was the wall of sound behind them, which was a gong and tiny cymbals and everything like that.
Okay.
They were, I would say, they were equally talented. They could both play.
I'd agree with that. Yep. Yeah.
Because the Dead usually had between a 15 and 20-minute drum solo. They didn't take breaks. They just did the drum solo. They made the drummers work. But and even on their album, there are 15, 12 and 15-minute drum solos. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're high.
Oh yeah.
It
These
takes
guys
longer.
I'm sure the speed was
Yeah,
flowing.
Did I see? I kind of imagine this, like they're playing and they're jamming, right? And he's just spaced out or whatever, right? And he looks up and
Nobody's
they
there.
they all walked off stage to get another doobie, and he's like, "Oh shit, I guess I better do something here." And then, you know,
Yeah, that's how it was born.
Yeah,
I see you just walk
basically.
off. Okay, great.
He's only been doing that same act for 60 years.
Yeah, right.
His solo records, the drum things, they are so percussion centrified
They are.
that they're sort of astounding to listen to, and sometimes they're too much. You got to you can't listen to the whole album at once. But yeah, that was a nice rabbit hole to go down, and I would tell anybody to do that. Those are great solo records to immerse yourself in. If you're a drummer,
Yeah.
you got to, because I mean,
Yep.
he gets, the Dead gets spacey, all right, but in a country spacey, or abducted by aliens in the middle of a field spacey, but some of Mickey Hart's stuff goes interplanetary.
Yeah.
It's not even in the same,
True.
unisphere.
The Unisphere.
All right, good picks. Was I expecting that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Two. What's your number one? Well, is it your number one?
It's not my number. It's not my number one, but it's my number one for tonight.
All right.
This doesn't want her boyfriend to break up with her.
Well, I was thinking about going with that drummer from Poker Face who blew up during Staplehead.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I'm not gonna.
No?
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
No.
Just so everybody
Um,
knows, that's a sub reference to a show on Peacock. Look it up.
Yeah,
I
look it
figured.
up.
Look it up.
So I guess this is a controversial one because I know he grates a lot of people, and kind of piggybacking off of Phil Collins is another singing drummer or
Oh, no.
drumming singer. Oh, see, look.
Oh, no.
No, what?
But again, I was trying to think of drummers that I enjoy that I may or may not have seen, because I haven't seen bands 300 times. Um, and this was another guy that listened to quite a bit for a long stretch of years, and I grew to appreciate him. And I think maybe he wasn't always the nicest or easiest person to get along with, but I didn't have to worry about that because I just listened to him on the radio.
There you go.
And he was good at what he did. And so I am giving it to, and again, this isn't my number one drummer of all time, but I appreciate his work and his collection, both
Afraid
with
she's
the
gonna get
band,
a t-shirt that says it or something.
the band and solo career, goes to Don Henley.
Oh, I like that.
Don, can we say your name without getting written up and your lawyers coming
Yeah.
at? Just wondering.
Blank
We
Henley,
love Don H. Wait,
that person who played the drums for the Eagles.
It's a great pick.
I know it is. Yeah.
We will not be playing any of Don
I
Henley's
agree.
music or Eagles.
I appreciate that pick,
I do
Sue,
too. I would be
because
seeing him both ways.
the Eagles were very important in my musical history. So good one.
I had to listen to the Eagles every single day in one of the summers I worked at Darien Lake because in front of the stand of ice cream stand I managed, they
No.
performed like the best of the Eagles every single day, 3 times a day.
Oh,
So we know how you feel about it right now. Not on your list.
That's just cool. I mean, what a
I
talent.
do.
He did double duty and more. So
And fresh new name because mine are recycled and regurgitated. So I appreciate that.
cheers.
Number one for Damn.
Okay,
Gee,
well, you know how
wonder who it could be.
Well, wait. Remember, wasn't it last show that maybe you didn't announce, but maybe there's going to be a new show that we might be doing about, a contest. So can anybody guess who my number one would be?
I won't guess because I do know. Sue
Everybody
knows.
so knows. All right, so this guy,
Correct one.
he's been touted as probably the most noted influential drummer of any current drummers that are drumming today. That's very important. He wasn't always very metronomically precise.
Where's my dictionary?
Okay, so you know what a metronome is?
Yes.
But that's what made him even more compelling and exciting and something new out there. It wasn't just speed, it wasn't just power, it was groove too, and figuring out where I need to maybe spice this up a little bit because he had some very powerful front people on the stage with him, right? So when you've got those vocals and that guitar and even that bassist, you better be John Bonham because that I'm telling you, like, and I had tickets to see Zeppelin in 1980. And I wish I had my ticket stub because I didn't get to go see him. So that was my biggest defeat in my musical history is not being able to see him. And so my love for Led Zeppelin isn't just Robert Plant, and everybody thinks, I'm Mrs. Plant. John Bonham, my number one.
All right.
Nice.
John Bonham. I saw Bonham in 78 2008 at the
Mhm.
U.S. at U.S.
I can't.
California festivals of music, and I got a side position, so I was right direct line. I got to watch Bonham for
Wow,
2.5 hours. He was
that's crazy.
awesome.
Well, you're blessed. You are holy in my eyes. You're wholly blessed.
Totally blessed.
Thank you.
Holy-
Thank you. You may kiss the ring. Mr. Young.
Yeah, I mean, I also got John Bonham. Like Bill Ward, he kind of leads the charge in so many recognizable drumming sequences and tunes. I mean, When the Levee Breaks, Good Times, Bad Times, Rock and Roll Cashmere, Moby Dick. I mean, they're just legendary. Like, I bet if you ask 10 drummers who the best drummer is, I bet 9 of them say John Bonham.
Yeah.
If they're not their favorite, they would say he might be the most influential. So,
That's exactly right. You got
so
it.
maybe he's not my number one, but that's why I saved him for last because that's what a drummer would pick.
No, and it's yeah.
Steve.
So, a couple things. John Bonham is Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I just want to throw 2 names out there that were honorable mentions for me that almost made it but didn't, and that's Johnny Faye from the Tragically Hip
Yeah.
and Chris
Mhm.
Whipper Layton from Double Trouble.
Yeah.
Really?
Short career, but you know, somebody's got to back up the, in my opinion, the greatest guitarist of all time.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to my number 6. This guy started drumming in 1964. His idols were somebody already mentioned, Buddy Rich, and Ed Shaughnessy, who was the drummer with the Doc Severinsen band in the Tonight Show. And we'll get back to that because that plays a part in this. He was influenced by the Ventures, you know, the beach band who did, you know, Walk Don't Run, did the theme from Hawaii Five-O. And in 1974, he met Bruce Springsteen. So Max Weinberg, who, again, band leader for Conan O'Brien, so got to live out a dream of being a band leader himself on a late night show. His son Jay is the drummer of Slipknot.
Really?
Yep, have had the pleasure of seeing Springsteen, I don't know, 20 times. And, you know, with all that stuff going on, you know, I kind of, you know, I mentioned this before with some of the drummers I brought up in the past. I really brought it up with Carter Beauford too, is that when you've got so much going on around you, to have that guy who's the steadying hand. And in my opinion, Max Weinberg is one of those guys. And he's been doing it forever. And is, you know, and until Bruce is at Fourth Lawn, I'm sure he's going to still be playing. So, so yeah, there'll be more of Max and more of me at work trying to get tickets on Ticketmaster when they come back around, like I did for McCartney the other day. But yeah, Max for me is a solid number 6. But you know, like Mark said earlier, these are, you know, like in the case of John Bonham, I didn't have him in the 10 because, you know, everybody knows Babe Ruth is the.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you, Babe Ruth was a great baseball player. Yeah. He was really good, and same thing with John Bonham. And but yeah, lists like these and going through this is just, it's such a fun walk back.
Yeah.
It really is. I truly enjoyed looking into this and trying to shift people around and who goes where and people I left off the list. It's crazy, but yeah, very enjoyable.
We're keeping you, Steve.
No, I'm happy to hear that. I can't wait for the next one.
Absolutely.
They were talking about those drummers today, right? And there are several of them. There are 3 women in this too. One of them a Indian drummer, another one from TikTok sensation who might get her day in the sun, and is kind of through TikTok. But I don't, you know, give me an album. I need an album. I need to know you can put your shit together, not have these little
Right.
tates, right? I mean, anybody can whip something up and be done, right? Let's do a whole thing. Give me 40 minutes. Anyway, I put this together for one reason and one reason only. I wanted to showcase somebody, and I knew I'd get there eventually. I am a huge there's this place in the United States that is legendary. It's spooky. It's
Lockport.
yes.
I was going to say my house.
I know.
No,
Mark's
that's something you
both of those places.
that's something you just survived. So New Orleans.
Where you're not a victim, you're a survivor.
Yes. New Orleans is just a different place. And there's so much sound coming out of there in different areas of that, and the bayou and all that coming together, culmination, old school blues singers coming up, and there's just this culture, this gumbo, if you will.
Acid bath.
Yes. So this gentleman was born there. And I believe at a certain point, I didn't really know who he was, but I dug the band. And it wasn't until my father came to me and said, well, you got to hear this. And he's searching on his computer, and he brings it up, and it starts off, and he says, no, it's later. And I'm like, I know. Know this band. And I'm like, what are you going to show me? He goes, this drummer's out of his mind. And that is Stanton Moore of Galactic.
Oh.
And this is
Your dad?
Flying the Coop. Now, I've known Galactic for a while. Stanton Moore is a trained jazz drummer, but he is so enraptured in the culture of New Orleans. He's like the quintessential glue of it all. But he does his own solo records. And those solo records can be done in a very structured time jazz, or they can go off the rails. And that's what I love about jazz drummers and rock drummers, and that they hold the form, but they can also surprise the living hell out of you. And his catalog, he doesn't play with a lot of famous people. But the famous people that he plays with are the ones known to that culture and to that scene. And that scene is so rich, and it so with Galactic, he's been doing that, I think, since maybe the mid-90s, and that still goes to today. But just recently, Galactic did an album with one of the legends, the queen of the blues. And you were like, why hadn't they done this prior? Having somebody like this in this. He's also been with Garage à Trois in the late 90s to 2009. Those kind of have like a funk label to them. But his drumming is just, it seems effortless. He's not, he doesn't look like he's about ready to die. Like some of these drummers, broken wrists and all this, but just the way he handles himself. So Stanton Moore is my number one. Mr. Crichton finished his off with Ringo Starr. Not a surprise there.
Yeah.
And Ray, I think it was Chad Smith. Yes, it was Chad Smith.
Yay, Chad.
Oh, yes.
Will Ferrell.
So if there's an honorable mention or two, I'll let you chime it all in. Deb, you raised your hand first. I'll let you go.
Well, yeah, because you guys talked about the xylophone an hour ago.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Bring us to the Xy.
Okay, I had to go on to Wikipedia because there's just so much information about this man. So I've actually known this man since the day he was born,
Ah,
March 1st, 1966. Um, Not only could he play the xylophone, but he can play the marimba with 3 sticks in each hand.
ah.
He actually, while he was going to medical school at the University of Rochester, was attending the Eastman School of Music. And this is my baby brother, Bruce Armitage.
Oh,
Aw,
Yeah,
yay.
yeah.
Hey,
So
Bruce.
that's my baby brother. So that's
do we
my
have any?
honorable mention.
Do we have any video? that I
No,
can
but
slide
actually,
in?
you know what he did? Now, there's only a couple people on the show that know my brother and his dry sense of nothingness because he's a scientist. But
Nothing.
he actually came in second place at the talent show as a senior, doing stand-up comedy in a suit like Steve Martin-esque. So
Okay.
he's a master of a lot of things we have not been privy to, and please don't show him this show. All right,
Okay.
so that's my
Bruce
first.
is awesome.
And
And
Like
he,
a
his personality is so big, I think he reins it in, is what it is.
yeah, people go, what does your brother do? I go, well, he's a laser chemist at Carnegie Mellon, and I don't know what that means. So that's not my first honorable mention, but my second one is it's kind of a group honorable mention. It's for all those drummers in the documentary that we didn't get to see their faces, but we knew that they all had a demise of something catastrophic. But the most memorable one, um, actually died of spontaneous combustion. And those are the drummers of Spinal Tap. And I keep talking about Spinal Tap because Spinal
We're
Tap
gonna have a
2 is
special
coming out.
show when it goes on. You're just gonna be sitting in the theater giving us the play-by-play.
My popcorn and my glass of wine.
that's
Wow.
So those my
that's going to be the first filmmaker to do a documentary of a documentary.
on me.
Out of a false documentary.
The
Yeah.
fans,
Yeah.
the fans of
With-
Spinal Tap.
Yes.
Yeah, my Twizzlers and that little
Documentary of a
animal.
mockumentary.
So those are my honorable mentions. I know it's not serious, but
Oh,
it is serious.
hey,
for
now I'm
me.
gonna look up to see if I can find Bruce. Anybody else? Anyway, all right. Well, I'll thank the panel for doing this. Obviously, we went a little bit long, and I'll have to edit the living hell out of this.
Don't look at me. I'm cool.
Oh yeah, don't. If we miss somebody, put in your list. You know, we did 10. Bring me your 10. You get honorable mentions. Send it out there. Put it out there to us. We'll reply. Thank the panel again for doing this. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Articles, video, podcast. Yeah, maybe. It's all about albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. I don't know. We got this is gonna air, so Saturday will be album review Saturday. That'll be just me, myself,
Sorry.
and I will be dropping a lot of albums because I've done a lot of listening. So go beyond your radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thanks for watching. Happy listening.
Bye.